Happy Monday. So I guess you guys are all probably working and getting through those visit blues. But I wasn't planning on going live. You're wondering what the heck I'm doing. Well, it's the Monday after the Oscars, and I don't work the Monday after the Oscars. But I'm not going to lie. I do have to go in. I have to take care of something. Hey, Ruby. And I'm going to probably be there for about an hour. But I have been, hi, girlfriend. But I have been in the house because we are having this major windstorm. It's crazy. They've totally evacuated all of the houses that are on the lake because the wind pushed all the ice that was on top of the lake on the land. And it's like, just go on my profile and see the pictures. There are street lights, signal lights that are like falling on top of cars. I mean, it's insane here. I am so grateful that I still have electricity. My electricity went off for literally 5 seconds. I'm so grateful because I don't do very well. But again, so I know there's a lot of new members. I know a lot of you know who I am, but I'm going to introduce myself again because it has to do with why I'm here right now. I am Admin Cat, aka Mrs. B 1948. I'm a volunteer for Strong Prison Wives. And I've been volunteering with Strong Prison Wives probably since 2013. My loved one is aka Mr. Sexy, and he has been out of prison since 2014 and is on parole until 2020, April of 2020. And he will be a registered level 1 sex offender in the state of New York until 2030 because he accepted a plea for a crime that he did not commit. So, anyways, the reason why I decided to volunteer was because I wanted to give you my experiences, what life is like of him being home on parole, let alone on parole in the state of New York, because we all know the state of New York is one of the toughest states, and it has one of the highest rates for, sending people back to jail, violations, that kind of thing. So, and personally, we have been going through, or I feel like we've been going through something, and I kind of had a breakthrough yesterday, so I kind of wanted to tie everything in. So basically what happened is that I got a message yesterday from a girl, and I wanted to kind of share it with you because it kind of ties in with what I went through yesterday and this past weekend. So I'm going to read the message. Of course, you know I am very protective about people's identities, so I'm not going to tell you who it was sent from. I guess one of the reasons why I'm doing this is because those of you that don't know me, I'm a better talker than I am a writer. Those of you that do know me, yes, you all know that I just love to blab. So that's why I'm here. So I'm going to read the message. I'm not going to tell you what I sent her, but I hope she hears this. I hope that she understands, and fingers crossed. Okay, so, hey, Kat. So I wasn't expecting sunshine and roses, or expecting sunshine and rainbows. Actually, I kind of was. The first 2 days was like a dream of happy love and togetherness. And now, just 4 days later, I'm so thankful for a half hour to Walmart on my own. Is this normal? He's questioning how I did everything while he was away. Like I did it all wrong, from not clearing out his junk email to the bills, etc. I just want to cry. And this man was the same one a week ago who said he didn't care that I held it together with duct tape. He just wanted to be home with me and he would fix it. I worked so effing hard, and it's like he isn't seeing any of that, and I don't know how to handle it because he's making me so upset. And in turn, I'm being witchy, with a B though, to him. Like, hey, a-hole, guess who didn't put you in this situation in the first place, and I'm still here. So, I'm not going to tell you my response because it was very blunt. It wasn't very blunt. It was very blah. Because again, sometimes I read these things and I clam up and I just, I don't know what to say. And then I have to digest it, and then, I don't know, something happens to me and it makes me, you know, want to get on and talk about it. So, first of all, I am going to say it sounds like he is extremely overwhelmed. That's number one. Now, with that being said, I'm not saying or excusing him being rude at all. That's unacceptable. And he needs to be reminded of that. So, in my experience, you know, Mr. Sexy gets very bratty. You guys have all heard, the ones that have known me have all heard, like, he does this kind of Darth Vader thing at 7 o'clock because he has to be home at, you know, at 8. And I have to keep reminding him, like, hey, it's better than you being in jail. It's better than you getting woken up, twice a night for count, early in the morning for count, being told when to do this, when to do that. I mean, yeah, okay, so you have to be home at 8 o'clock. But I mean, from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., you know, oh, yeah, you have a job. But I mean, on the weekends, you know, and to be quite honest with you, we are extremely lucky. I mean, extremely lucky. We have resources that other people don't have. And our predicament is just so minute compared to some of yours. I mean, don't get me wrong, our predicament is horrific, but I mean, we're just so more fortunate than so many other people that I have got to know during this journey 10 years ago from this organization and from other people and other organizations. And I have to remind him of that. And I told him, like, for those of you that don't know us, you need to understand something. We've known each other way over 30 years. You know, our parents hung out together as children. Our families all know one another. We were never in a relationship before he went away. I did a reading in their wedding. This was the third time he went to jail and the first time he went home to me. I only went on this journey because I figured this was the third time that I had an opportunity to be with him, and I could not say no to that, and I had to give it a chance. And I feel like this is something that we needed to go through, to get through that, to learn, to get through, to have the relationship that I want. You know, for those of you that know me, you all know that I feel like in today's society, everybody feels like they need to sit on their airy dares and don't work for anything and have it all come to them. And I feel like this is a lesson that we needed to learn to be together for whatever time. This lifestyle has definitely taught us to not take anything for granted and to accept the little things and really, really embrace them and hold on to them. And I'm not going to lie to you, there are times that he has forgotten that. And when we started this journey, I did say to him, because I was on the first journey with him and his ex-wife, aka victim. This was the wrong way to say it, but she is the victim. And she's deaf. So that played a major part in the case, and why I got involved, because she needed help. They just wouldn't have had their relationship in the beginning if they didn't have someone to help them, whether it was me or anybody else. But what I'm trying to say to you is that I saw the journey that they took. Like, I remember when he went away, how she reacted towards it, how her mother reacted towards it. And I am completely the other opposite of that. Like, I've always accepted him for who he is. I feel like if you fall in love with somebody, you fell in love with this package, whether it was all good or all bad. If he wants to change, or if that other person decides to change, that's up to them. You can't just say, I love you, and I don't like this, and I don't like that, and I choose, that's something wrong. And I tried to explain that to her. And that's the thing. What I'm trying to say is that I know he can be an a-hole. I know he can be an a-hole. I know that his ridiculous attitude sometimes gets him into trouble. I know that. I do. Again, I'm not excusing it. I'm just saying I know that. So I have to say to him and remind him, and I told him I was never going to throw it up in his face. Like, look, you were in jail for 4 months and I held this all down. What the H? What the F? Or want some sort of a payback. But I have to remind him that, hey, bud, like, dude, look at you. Do you know any other buddy that's been in your predicament who's got everything that you have? I mean, for example, my bonus sons. My bonus sons are the complete exception of everything in this lifestyle. I mean, they're doing fantastic. And I pray to God that they're doing fantastic mentally and they're not holding it all in. And I'm praying that they've talked it all out and they've done the complete opposite of their mother or, their grandmother. I hope and pray. I mean, I have mental health issues in my family, and I've always talked it out. I've also been very lucky. A lot of us aren't lucky anymore, but with today's technology and, hopefully you can get some help. So I feel like you need to talk to him. And if you can't talk to him now, what's going to happen a few years down? So I feel like you need to go up to him and say, hey, look, and remember, you have to understand he's probably overwhelmed. But, and say that to him, like, look, hey, look, I understand that you've been away and I understand this is a lot to handle. But, what's going on here? Talk to him and tell him how you're feeling. And I'm not going to lie to you guys. I mean, it has not all been peaches and cream. And there are days that I get out of work and I need a little breather because I can't go from executive or whatever I am now into housewife and do that for 4 hours. And then he leaves and then I'm exhausted. It just, so what do? Okay, I take a longer ride home. I throw the music on and I just take it all in and I just breathe. Work out. And I'm not saying that you need a gym. I mean, in today's day and age, there are all these videos on YouTube. I mean, look at our Melinda, our new volunteer. She's doing all these things to better herself. She just put a Workout Wednesday post out a couple weeks ago about yoga. I can't remember what her name is, but it starts with an A. Check that out. She's got a whole YouTube page. We need to release this stuff. And again, my favorite saying from my wonderful Brene Brown is the body keeps score and it always wins. You're gonna pay for this. So talk to him. You guys talked on the phone, you know. And again, I'm so guilty of this because, thank you, because here I am. I've been in this situation, and in the time that we've been in a relationship, or in this whatever we've been, again, we've never formally ever, yes, she is awesome. We have never, ever, ever dated before he went away. And there were reasons for that. And I always tell him that I felt like I was on a ledge and I got pushed by life. I'm not saying that he did it. It was certain circumstances that did it. And it was devastating, and it took a lot to get through it. And, you know, here I am. Here I am. Like, I always look at it as, if I could get through the horrific autoimmune disease that I had, that they told me I had a 50-50 chance of living, and I could get through doing her hair the day of the wedding, and I could get through doing a reading in their wedding, and seeing him have a family with her, and then she completely destroy it and get through, you know, bring it on. Bring it on. Bring it on. So, anyways, needless to say, as you guys all know, we went on vacation in January. It was our first vacation. We had celebrated our first New Year's Eve together in the 10 years that we've been together, and it was great. And then we came home, and now I feel like I'm on that ledge again. And I'm not saying that it's him, you know, because now parole is being, you know, and I've drank the Kool-Aid, and I'm spoiled, and I want him to spend the night, and he's getting busy with work and the kids and everything else. And I'm not going to lie, there's things, like, you all know what happened on Valentine's Day, but of course it was, you know, out of our hands, and life is life, and things happen, and, you know, they get in their own little worlds. I mean, let's face it, guys, girls and guys, men are moody. They are moody MFers, okay? And they're babies. That's why they don't have the babies, okay? I'm sorry, no disrespect to any of the men in this group, but I'm sorry. So, you know, yesterday I finally said to him, you know, you need to know, I feel like that ledge is represented, and I'm about to be pushed. And unfortunately, I wasn't strong enough to do it before, because, of course, he had to leave. But on the other hand, I'm good about that, because then he can go home and he can think about things, and he can, you know, because that's what he learned from everything, is to think about it and, you know, work it out in his head, and re-evaluate everything that's been going on. But he said, you know, he said to me, he goes, "You're not going anywhere. I'm not going to allow it." And, you know, and he held me, and I felt better. But you guys, you got to talk. You have to talk. And if you don't talk, you know, again, just because you're face to face, it doesn't change anything. You need to talk. And if you guys aren't talking at visit, you know, you need, and that's one of the reasons why I love Strong Prison Wives, is because it makes you think about, or you should be thinking about, him coming home before the week before, or before the month before. You should be thinking about it, you know, the day he goes in. You should be thinking about it and making life better and working on it. And I truly believe that if we wouldn't have done that, what's going on right now would have been a lot more horrific. So, you know, again, I'm not excusing his behavior, but I think, you know, we need to, and I agree, they don't think about us. But if we don't teach them, how are they going to know? And, you know, and I've said that to him. I have said to him, like, you know, I'm the only one that's been here for you 100%. I've never, yeah, we didn't talk for how many years, but you were married. I always had your back. You always knew you could call me, you know. And I think you just got to kind of remind him of that without, you know. And I get the attitude. And I get an attitude. I'm not going to lie to you. And he picks up on it and he doesn't like it. But, you know, I've also said to him that, you know, treat thy neighbor. Treat thy neighbor. And you've preached that. So practice what you preach. You know, I remember, like, I want to say, like, oh, I don't even know how long ago it was, but he said something like, as long as you remember it's my world and you're just in it. And I went, oh, really? Really? This is your world? And then he kind of stepped back and he was like, you know, realizing, yeah, it's not just my world. So, you know, just say it with a little, you know, je ne sais quoi, whatever that is. You know, just remember, you're a lady. Say it with class. Act like a classy lady. And again, I get it. I so get the attitude. But it's not going to help you. It really isn't. They're just going to get defensive and they're going to react. And, you know, I say to him all the time, like, I think you keep forgetting who I am. And you keep remembering who you were married to. I'm not some, you know, little girl who's deaf. And, you know, I've been on my own for a really long time. And, you know, if I ask you to do something, there's a purpose behind it. I'm going to ask you probably twice. And if it doesn't get done, I'm going to do it myself, MFR. You know, that's just how this is. When you ask me to do something, you expect it done right away. So I expect that in return. I know that they say that you shouldn't do things with expectations, but I expect to be treated exactly how I treat you. Okay? And if that doesn't happen, then I got to put the wall up and I got to do what I got to do to protect myself and my heart and my energy and me. That's how it is. I'm going to be 50 years old. I'm done. I have always totally supported everybody around me 100% with no judgment, and I expect the same. If you don't like it, there's the door. Gotta go. Bye-bye. Okay, I'm done. I hope you guys got something from this, and I'm definitely going to message my little sweetheart that is going through this, and hopefully she will watch it. And you guys, remember, do you take care of yourselves, stay strong one day at a time, and love yourselves, you guys. Just love yourselves. Love you. Have a great day. Stay safe.